Our next guest is a multiple award-winning producer, writer, and creator of the long-running beloved sitcom Everybody Loves Raymond. Now he's turning the cameras on himself for a second season while stuffing his face with food. Live from New York, please welcome Phil Rosenthal with his second helping of his Netflix series, Somebody Feed Phil. Hello, hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm great, and it's really a pleasure and an honor to have you on the show, and I'm enjoying watching you go around the world eating.
Somebody has to.
And you managed to stay svelte in the process.
You know how that's done? You know how they make dog food commercials?
Yes.
They don't feed the dog until the commercial. I'm the dog.
You're the dog. You're the dog. So tell us kind of where your
when
love
you see
for
me
food...
eating...
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
Sorry, there's a little bit of a delay. It's sometimes complicated with the delay. So tell us where your love of food started. Did it start in your mom's kitchen?
No. It started after leaving my mom's kitchen. It's like in The Wizard of Oz, when she opens the door and suddenly the world is in color. That was like me with flavor.
That's really, really interesting. So why was it after you left your mom's kitchen? I mean, what are your memories of, you know, your cuisine? Did you have the basic Jewish food that was, you know, the gefilte fish that we all know and love?
You're causing me to have post-traumatic stress.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
My mother had a setting on the oven for choux.
Wow, that must have been quite a household to grow up in. So that said, given that you know, you got out of the house and got interested in food, were you always kind of dreaming of doing a food show and just kind of got sidetracked producing such a legendary sitcom?
Yeah, the sitcom got in the way of me eating.
Except craft services.
The best in town. Listen, the Army travels on its stomach, right? So I made sure we had the best food in town. It was a pleasure, actually. But, you know, the show started when we did an episode of Raymond in Italy, and Ray didn't really want to go. The actor didn't want to go. He was afraid of flying. He actually said, I'm not really interested in other cultures. And I thought, oh, we got to do this episode where we bring him over to Italy with that attitude, and we bring him back with my attitude, someone who's excited about food and travel and all the mind-expanding things we can do when we travel. And sure enough, we did that episode, and this little character arc that I wrote about a guy getting woke, I saw it happen to Ray the person. And so that was the year 2000, and since then, I've wanted to do a show where I could turn other people on to this magic of traveling, because it really does change your life, and I think it can change the world. I think the whole world would be a little better if we all could experience some of each other's experience.
Fantastic. So you did shoot an episode here in Tel Aviv. Tell us about it. We're in Jaffa,
yeah,
so you were in our neighborhood. So what were some of the highlights?
Oh, my God, the food. The food!
It was
awesome. I loved it.
What were some of your favorite?
I'm trying to remember all the places
like
now.
shakshuka, hummus. Like, how are you with all of the spicy food in Israel?
Dr. Shakshuka. We did a scene there, right?
You did.
We did. I went to the Jewish Arab bakery, Abu Lafia. I went to Abu Hassan for hummus. I went to the place in the market that looks like a synagogue, but is really a hummus-area.
Hummus-area. So did you enjoy it? How does... actually, let's look at a clip and continue with the Tel Aviv.
There's a woman here named Michal Ansky, and she's very famous in Israel. She started the kind of slow food movement farmers market in Tel Aviv. We stop at one of Michal's favorites, and I got to tell you, this is worth stopping for.
You are standing next to Sherry Herring. Sherry's my mother.
Really? So the Jewish people have a deep, deep history with herring.
Very, very strong emotional history with herring.
Yeah.
It's what you eat on Kiddush, it's what you eat on Shul, on the synagogue, it's what you eat on holidays. It's what you eat before Shabbat, it's what you eat after Shabbat, and you always have it with a shot of vodka. And it's like the most amazing herring sandwich on planet Earth.
This is the most excited I've ever seen a human being get about herring.
Yeah.
You look like you're about to make aliyah being here.
Can I tell you something? That sandwich, I think about that sandwich. I want that sandwich. Can you, hey, you can mail me a sandwich, can't you?
I could, I'll do it.
I love it
take
so
care
much.
of
And
it.
wow. Have you had that sandwich, Sherry Herring?
I have not had that sandwich, but it looks really, really good.
What are you doing
I'm gonna
later?
Go.
You got it. No, you go. I'm telling you. And if you see Michal, give her a big hug for me. I love her too, and her mother, who is Sherry Herring.
I will.
Yeah.
I will for sure. Quickly, the other thing that is so interesting about the show is here you are getting into the technology, reaching the millennials and making it very interactive. As someone who, produced a broadcast TV show, how do you see, Netflix and these other outlets changing television?
Here's the thing. You make your 6 episodes, let's say, you give it to Netflix, they push a button, and you are now on every country on Earth. Right? I think there's 2. I think Syria and North Korea don't have it. That's all right. Well, someday we'll get there. But everyone else is seeing my stupid face at the same exact moment.
Which is really amazing. What would have been different if Raymond was on when we had these tools?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe, listen, it just takes longer with broadcast, right? So we do our show, and then other countries pick it up on broadcast. A show like Raymond is on in 140 countries, either dubbed or subtitled, but they're getting it sometimes years later. Netflix, right away.
Amazing.
Instant.
Phil, thank you so much for joining us.
The whole world is connected.
It sure
My pleasure.
is. Just like we're able to do this remotely, just like that. The Hudson and Jaffa at the same time. Nice.